Hey, welcome everyone to the 2022 State of the City Address. We have a lot of introductions here to kick off. But first, I'd like to start with a special presentation. We'd like to, if you would please stand for the honor guard, and then after that, we'll have the Pledge of Allegiance. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. You may all be seated. Thank you. Well, again, good evening, and thank you for joining me. I'm Mayor Gregory Mills, and it is my honor to introduce this year's State of the City Address. And we're back in person. So we have several folks here that I would like to acknowledge, starting with those that I serve alongside this great community, our Brighton City Council. First of all, I'd like to introduce our Mayor Pro Tem, Adam Cushing from Ward 4. From Ward 1, Tim Watts, Councilmember Tim Watts. Councilmember Johnston was unable to join us this evening. And then from Ward 2, Councilmember Marilyn Pollock. Also from Ward 2, Ann Tadeo. Serving in Ward 3, Councilmember Clint Blackhurst. And also from Ward 3, Councilmember Jan Pulowski, who is also a former mayor and former county commissioner. And then last but not least, serving in Ward 4, Councilmember Peter Padilla. Thank you all for your commitment to our great city, and it is my pleasure to serve alongside each and every one of you. I'd like to also thank our local dignitaries from the state, county, and otherwise. First of all, we have Commissioner Lynn Baca, if you would stand. County Manager Alicia Reyes, if you're here. Deputy County Manager Byron Fling. Assistant Coroner Sharada Appleberry, sorry. And then Adams County Sheriff Rick Regenborn. From Weld County, we have Commissioner Perry Buck. From some other agencies we have in the area, we have from Smart Commute, Karen Stewart. She's also our CDOT commissioner. Also from RTD, Vince Busick. I'll get to Troy in a minute. And then from other local municipalities, I see Mayor Nancy McNally's here. From Commerce City, Councilmember Christy Douglas. And if there's anybody that's formerly served from City Council, Brighton or otherwise, please stand. I see Mark Humbert's here, and Cynthia Martinez, and Dave Rose, Wilma Rose, It's really bright here. Dick Hodge, yes. Daryl Myers, yes, thank you. From United Power, we have Mark Grable. He's CEO of United Power. Also from United Power, and also our RTD representative, Troy Whitmore. Brighton Fire District Chief, Bryson Garrison. And then, a nice lady I just met yesterday, the new president of Platte Valley Medical Center, Jamie Campbell. And then I see a lot of people from the school district. I see Superintendent Chris Fiddler's here. And then the rest of the board, I know Greg Petrowski's here, and I see Lloyd Worth. Will all the board that are here from 27J please stand? Yeah, you too, Tom. Did I miss anyone? If you serve in any capacity, please be recognized. Thank you. All right. So your presence today and your continued support for the city of Brighton means so much to us. Thank you all for being here. And thank you also to our city manager, Michael Martinez, my running counterpart. You all saw him in the video running alongside me here. Deputy City Manager Mark Falkenberg. There you are. Assistant City Manager Karen Borkowski-Serene. See you somewhere in the back. There she is. And all of the city staff that's been here to really make this happen. We really appreciate that. Thank you to all of our city staff, our residents. Thank you very much. So I'd also like to recognize our Vietnam War veterans, because today is actually National Vietnam War Veterans Day. We're so thankful for those that have served in not only Vietnam, but all of the conflicts that have been going on even today. So I'd also like to give a shout out to the staff here at the Armory, from audio and video, lighting, seating, and everything in between. The staff here are the heart and soul of this beautiful, historic place. Thank you for all you do. Let's give a round of applause for them too. So the State of the City addresses are time to reflect on like that celebration of our success in the city. It's also a time to recognize the hard work we must continue to put forward as we build our community. So this past year wasn't easy, with COVID-19 persisting in the previous 2 years. But we still accomplished so much. Here to take a look back at what we've accomplished is our city manager, Michael Martinez.
Oh, please sit down. I don't need that. I'm looking through the rest of my speech here, and they put running mate instead of running partner here, and anything political like that, including me as a running mate, scares me. So I love you, Mayor, but not that much. First, I want to thank Mayor Mills for being my running partner and allowing me, of course, to serve as your city manager. When I look back at this past year, there's so much to be proud of. In light of the continued impacts of the pandemic, we have accomplished so much as a city. I'd like to share some of those highlights with you. Last year, the city welcomed a new event that brought together thousands of people from across Colorado. The Vietnam Veterans Memorial Replica Wall, or the Wall That Heals, came to Brighton in early September thanks to the efforts of many in this room, but I want to highlight somebody who went above and beyond, Councilmember Tim Watts. Without his efforts, it wouldn't have happened. So a round of applause, please, for Councilmember Watts. The wall came in early September. The 3/4 scale replica wall was spread across Carmichael Park, put together by the hands of hundreds of volunteers. It was a beautiful moment for Brighton as visitors from near and far, young and old, came to honor those who paid the ultimate sacrifice in the Vietnam War. And it's very fitting that we're talking about that event today with it being Vietnam Veterans Memorial Day. We're also able to bring back several of the community's favorite in-person events, like Summerfest, the City Barbecue, and the Festival Lights Parade. The smiles, the laughs, the hugs, the cheers, those were moments of normalcy that we've been longing for a long time, and we're happy to see again. Those moments of community engagement are so important to us here at the City of Brighton, but with the ongoing pandemic, we constantly had to adjust to an ever-changing health and safety world. Over at Eagleview Adult Center, they're known for putting on so many fun, interactive events for the seniors in our community. EVAC embraced going virtual by offering extensive programming on Zoom and other platforms. They even started a drive-through service to help folks get the needed technology on their tablets and smartphones. When EVAC was ready to reopen in May of 2021, they took extra precautions to ensure the safety of everybody. In another lingering impact of COVID, we had to continue to adjust to material shortages, and of course, we still have to face that unfortunate impact, and shipping delays, the great staffing migration, and so much more. But through it all, we've seen COVID cases continue to rise and most recently fall, thankfully. The reality has become that we all know somebody who has gotten COVID, loved ones, friends, colleagues, even ourselves. As tough as times have been, the city knows just how critical these services Brighton provides to our community. That's why we've continued to provide high-quality service to our residents despite the challenges that came our way. Last March brought one of the largest snowstorms in Colorado history, leaving our public works crews with a tall task. In total, they plowed, it's funny because it's 27.9 inches. Apparently they can measure down to the 10th of an inch. That's how precise we are in Brighton. 27.9 inches of snow. With all hands on deck, our public works and parks crews worked around the clock, clearing the snow through back-to-back shifts and many sleepless nights. And if I can, I want to give a round of applause to our streets team, and everybody involved. Additionally, during that blizzard, Brighton Police not only continued to provide emergency services, but also went into rescue mode. Using their new snowcat, Brighton Police rescued 14 people stranded throughout the city and highways. When it comes to infrastructure, we began 2021 breaking ground on the North Outfall project. That investment has improved storm drainage and mitigated flooding issues north of downtown. For our streets, a $3.2 million investment in the Streets Preservation Program has helped repair streets across our city. Over at Sable Boulevard and 144th, we broke ground on construction of a new traffic signal to make that busy intersection safer. That project is now complete, and I'm happy to share that that signal will be activated tomorrow. So don't run the light, please. We're also tackling excessive speeding with new speed feedback signage installed at several locations throughout the city. We also put in new flashing push buttons to help keep our pedestrians safe when they cross streets. In Brighton, our parks are a source of pride and joy. So many hours, so much care is put into maintaining and growing the almost 1,100 acres of parkland in the city. Over at Observatory Park, you may have noticed a new look. Sensory panels, belt swings for almost all ages, and that includes city council members who've went and played on it, and many more amenities now make up the new playground at the park. The new playground represents a commitment to providing outdoor fun for kids, but also to be innovative and inclusive to everybody in our community. New additions also include new businesses. In 2021, we celebrated so many ribbon cuttings. Dancer's Edge, Country Financial, the brand new Fall Farm Festival at Bromley Farm, just to name a few. Brighton is also committed to incorporating and leveraging new technology. A new automated license plate reader at 11th Avenue and Bridge Street now detects stolen cars, helping to fight crime in our community. A very vital aspect, I might add. Brighton Police have also have a new drone and FAA licensed pilots to help investigations and search and rescue operations. With the 2021 fiber project, our information technology department brought 7 city locations on fiber. The end result? Faster internet for quicker connectivity to help us get things done more efficiently. At Brighton, our pride extends into our farming heritage. A resident brought the idea of allowing goats within our city limits. Have you guys heard about this? Goats? Brighton? I wasn't paying attention to that, I don't know. We made it happen, though. We made it happen with the launch of a new goat pilot program. Yes. For those of you in the room who are with other municipalities, that's a home run for us here in Brighton. So take that back and share that with your teams. Other regulatory framework we worked on, food trucks. We overhauled the guidelines for food trucks and outdoor vendors to make it an easier process for operators in our city. Here's some other numbers that I think will help give you a perspective of our day-to-day operations. In 2021, Brighton Police answered 71,900 calls for service. I'll say that again. Brighton Police answered 71,900 calls for service and created over 6,600 case reports. Utilities installed more than 890 new AMI readers, addressed over 1,900 service orders, and maintained over 1,100 hydrants. Our building division, issued more than 2,900 permits and performed over 16,300 construction inspections. For the first time in the city's history, online giant retailers, such as Amazon, is in our top 10 of taxpayers thanks to successful business licensing of online retailers. We also kicked off the city's new performance metrics program and made some new hires. We have a new finance director, a new city attorney, and a new deputy chief for Brighton Police. In the fall of last year, I personally had the honor of being appointed as city manager by city council, an opportunity I am so grateful for, even though it comes with a lot of long nights. As staff, old and new, I'm confident we'll accomplish so much more this year and lay solid groundwork for years to come. That's my charge, and that's my promise to you. I know I mentioned a lot of things and a lot of highlights from this past year, but it gives you just a glimpse into what we've accomplished in 2021. And now for 2022, we have so much more in the works, so much to look forward to, and here with that look ahead is our esteemed Mayor, Greg Mills.
Oh, look how quick you ran off the stage. All right, thank you, City Manager Martinez. So as you saw in the opening video, we were very busy here in the city of Brighton. So we don't just walk, we run to get things done, as you saw. At our recent goal planning session, we discussed the direction of our city and to strategize to keep the key visionaries in mind. Our goals are to continue to serve the needs of our community, see our short and long-term goals come to fruition, and increase community engagement. Now, to go into the specifics, we have so many projects in the works, like the new water treatment plant that is set to break ground later this year. This is a project that addresses an aging water infrastructure and the needs of our growing city. When complete, it'll supply quality water for the city's ever-growing population. Further strengthening our infrastructure, we are putting to work $600,000 in sidewalk construction and the Connect Brighton program. This will put us one step closer towards a more connected community. And then speaking of streets, the Bridge Street Widening project, it's from 22nd to about 45th Avenue, and it will move forward coming up later. And this intersection will feature new asphalt, shoulders, turn lanes, and other much needed safety improvements to connect two sides of town. Major final design from street projects are also in the works, and among them are a new municipal service center, and this is a long-awaited project that will be built on a 15-acre plot of land that's owned by the city. It's kind of near the northwest corner of Denver and Main Streets, and this facility will accommodate maintenance for streets, fleet, parks, and utilities. And a police substation will be built there as well. We're so excited to see this long-time dream come true and to help improve the working conditions for some of our city employees. This construction is set to begin in 2023 and should be moving ready by spring of 2024. Also coming are major upgrades to parks and recreation, like compiling construction of the Spear Canal Trail and the entry and trailhead of Ken Mitchell Open Space. So you may recall back in April of 2020 that this opened to the public, but this spring we'll actually get to celebrate with a ribbon cutting for that open space, so that'll be great. And then at the Founders Plaza downtown, the phase 2 has begun. You've probably seen the fencing that's going around it. So we'll be seeing new trestle shelters, covered picnic tables, overhead festoon lighting, additional trees for shade, and more. And that project is expected to finish sometime later towards the end of the year. This past December, our community was able to gather together at the Founders Plaza with a cheer and hot chocolate in hand and to celebrate the site of our new annual tree lighting ceremony. And that's exciting given what happened to our original tree here in town. So speaking of homes, the historic train depot, which is right over here next door, is now the home to the Greater Brighton Chamber of Commerce and Tourism Bureau. So this depot was once a place for freight and passengers to wait, and it now serves as a resource for our Brighton businesses to help grow our economy. But there's more happening, like businesses choosing to move here to Brighton. With that said, manufacturer Precision Building Systems is relocating from Denver to our great city. The company closed on a property on the North Brighton employment area of the Brighton Urban Renewal Authority and is now working on land use process. This move will bring about 300 jobs to Brighton and a couple 100,000 feet in new development in the city. And then moving on to sports, in early May, the Rec Center Sports Department will host its inaugural summer adult softball season on newly converted AstroTurf, which are the fields at the Brighton Sports Complex. And this project will convert all the turf at the fields at the Sports Complex and at Pulaski Fields. And that'll equate to about 10 million gallons of water savings for our community, which is great. Per year. And then over at Eagle View, I see Sue's listening now. Staff there will remain committed to navigating through the pandemic and with goals of getting back to all of its regularly scheduled programs. And that's great for our seniors in our community. And then about Brighton Police, they continue to do great work in our community, helping to fight crime and keep our community safe. The department is well ahead of the deadline of Senate Bill 217 to incorporate body-worn cameras for officers. They started rolling them out at the end of last year, and now with all the officers equipped with the cameras, they serve as a source of transparency for both the Brighton officers and the public. So Michael mentioned earlier our commitment to incorporating and leveraging new technology that continues this year, with plans to include adding Wi-Fi to Carmichael Park, adding park surveillance equipment, and the ability to count traffic with artificial intelligence. And then for finance, one big project is to expand online sales tax filings for all businesses. And this will help our business owners be able to file much easier. And when it comes to our partnership with the community, we're going to continue to find new ways to engage, provide helpful resources, and gather input to propel our community forward for our businesses. The Brighton Economic Development Corporation, or also known as EDC, will continue to grow our strategic partners. And by the way, so EDC staff are behind the announcements of some new businesses that are coming to Brighton. So I can't really, share the details. I know those details are coming in the works. I'm sure if you, get with Patrick, if you kind of shoulder rub him, he might give you some more detail. But I think it's safe to say in the next 18 months, you're going to start seeing some dirt turn at the Prairie Center for retail and additional restaurant capacity. So that's great. But that's not all. There's also social media. If any of you haven't subscribed, there's the Brighton Weekly e-newsletter in our community access channel, KBRA 8. And communications will be working to expand programming, grow subscriptions, and find new ways to engage the public. Speaking of engagement, our local arts and special events are crucial to our community engagement. And to highlight the local talent we have right in our backyard, we'll be thinking of new ways to promote our events to increase attendance and also to attract new visitors to Brighton. And finally, our future, our youth. I see some youth commission here tonight. We are so excited to finally be able to bring back fully in person our hallmark youth events like Speak Week coming up in May. I think it's in May. And later this year, the Image Summit. But there are also opportunities for more. We as a city remain committed to nurturing the endless potential of the young adults in our community and making sure their voices are heard. That's just an overview to get you excited for 2022. There's so much more to look forward to. And with that said, we'll have more to look forward to. We'll have now some of our council members come up if they would like and share some thoughts what's going on in their ward. I'd like to, if our Mayor Pro Tem, if he'd like to come up and say a few words. We'll start with Mayor Pro Tem Adam Cushing.
Thank you, Mayor. Thanks, everyone, for coming out. Yeah, a lot of great accomplishments we've had. The best one is our new city manager and new city attorney, I feel like. They've really hit the ground running, really done a good job listening to some of our goals and implementing them. Biggest one is the sidewalks. I mean, when I first ran for city council, I used to take the bus to downtown Denver. And to walk to the bus stop, you had to take your life in your hands, running across the middle of Bridge Street, and get over the curb, and hopefully the ground was hard, because if it wasn't, there was a lot of mud to get to the bus stop. Watching people park in the shopping center, people with mobility issues trying to cross, I'm really happy to see that we're going to start connecting some of these communities with sidewalks. Lee and I, we've made an effort to walk several subdivisions from our house to various places, and we have some of these really beautiful communities and really amazing sidewalks, and as soon as you get out of the community, it just kind of ends. And so I'm really happy, I having options to walk, bike, other options to commute around town. That's really important to me. I'm really glad to see that we're doing that. We also have not the best public transportation. Unfortunately, it's taken the back seat with the pandemic and everything's kind of been cut back. But as things reopen and people start commuting again, it's important we re-engage with our RTD and with public transportation to improve that. And part of that is the sidewalks, connectivity, having people who want to actually go to a bus stop and not have to worry about how they're going to get there, if they're going to have to walk through some weeds and stuff. So I really think that's a great thing the city's doing. In our strategy session, we also really talked about the things like phase 2 of the Oasis, adding on the rec center and pool to the Eagle View Adult Center, because, it's hard when you have a pool at the rec center. It's a beautiful pool, but people are swimming laps. It's cold. It's just not set up for the type of activities that they need over there. So it was really great that we had that strategy session, that we talked about some of these goals, and that we have a city manager and staff that are going to take that and run with it. That's the biggest thing this year. We're really lucky that we found a city manager that's going to do that, and I'm really happy to have him on board. But thank you very much.
Thank you, Mayor Pro Tem. Next, we'll hear from Ward 1. We'll go to Councilmember Tim Watts.
Come on out. You know, first off, thank you all for being here. I had a few things to say, but as I'm sitting here listening to everybody else speak, I'm having to delete a lot of my notes here because they've pretty much covered it all. But I would like to thank everyone, though, like I just said, for being here, especially Mr. Kevin Bomber, our CML Executive Director. I just want to thank you and the staff for looking out for us municipalities throughout the state and being there for us to keep us informed, and I appreciate that. Thank you very much. You know, we all do have a few projects we want to see done. We have our pet projects. We have our things that we hope to get accomplished or have on our bucket list. But as Mayor Pro Tem had mentioned, and I'm glad he did, one of the two biggest things I would say is the Oasis and the Eagle View Adult Center, as we've talked about. And another thing I would say is the getting better lighting in the city. Not airport lighting. We don't want that. But we want to get a little bit more lit up. So when we get these sidewalks added that a lot of council members, including Mayor Pro Tem Cushing has mentioned, we get those added in, we'll get some more lighting on that and get people out there walking and taking those animals out there and all the nice fur babies. Sorry, I'm lost here because I got a few things I had to delete, so I apologize again. I do want to say, though, even though we have these projects I want to talk about, I just want to take this time tonight to thank the city staff, especially the events team, for all the great things they were able to accomplish this last year. Coming out of COVID, or even still in it now, but coming out of it and having a lot of the restrictions relaxed, they were able to put things together on the fly, just constantly throwing things out there, and people were coming out to them. And just a really big shout out to our events team, getting Flicks and Kicks as well as it was, live at the Armory, and all the great things they did was just incredible. And just a round of applause for our events team and city staff, please. You know, I'd also like to thank, or welcome, I should say, I was going to say thank our EDC director, but I don't want to call him out for all the new businesses. You want to read the businesses that were coming? No? Okay. I would, there is maybe possibly a tire shop, a Taco Bell, and a dental office. But we will know that soon. Nothing against those three businesses, but you know how it is. I would like to also welcome to the city our new chamber director, Natalie Cummings. Natalie, where you at? I will tell you, if you're a business in Brighton and not a member of the chamber, please become one. She is incredibly passionate and has one of the highest levels of engagement I've ever seen in this industry. And coming from the restaurant side of things and the hospitality thing, working with chambers, she's it. She's exactly what a chamber looks for and dreams about having, and we have her here in Brighton, and that's awesome. So thank you, Natalie, for everything you do. You know, we've also had our downsides in this city as well. I mean, you guys can open up a social media page any day and see a downside that I'm sure somebody's posted about. But I will say that we've worked through them together. And this year, truly, all of us combined, we did make We Are Brighton a reality. And that's a testament to our residents in this community, because that slogan 2 years ago is actually a real thing now. And it's our community came together through COVID, and we're continuing to do that. And I look forward to all the positive progression this year and beyond. And I have full confidence in this council and this city staff that we will work hard together and accomplish everything we need to be the all-inclusive community that we all hope to be. And as our motto states, and I had to double check it just so we're clear, but our motto for Brighton, and a few of you have been around a while, Councilmember Blackhurst, Councilmember Pulaski, Councilmember Pollock, and everybody else, Marv. What we value today is what we become tomorrow. And with that said, I thank you all for being here again tonight. Thank you for all you do to make Brighton a great place to live, and I look forward to a positive future. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Councilmember Watts. Next, Councilmember Marilyn Pollock from Ward 2.
Thank you, Mayor. Good evening, all, and thank you for coming, and welcome to Ward 2. This is part of Ward 2. And so, as some of you know, Ward 2 has a lot of history. Our main street, our buildings are very historic. Now we have the chamber in Ward 2, have the library. So this is a place to be. We have what the locals call Baja Park. It's BJAA Park, and it's a historic park. And we also have the Boys and Girls Club, thanks to people like Dick Hodge, who was going business to business, trying to gather money to get it built. I remember those days. He asked me for more than I'd made in 10 years, but anyway. But he gave it all he had, and we have the Boys and Girls Club, for some of you that don't know. They're open Monday through Friday during the school year and summer, and it's open to kids ages 6 to 18. So that's been quite a benefit for our community. And for those of you that don't know, you might want to stop and check it out. But thank you again for coming, and thank you for joining us. We greatly appreciate it, and we'll keep working. And of course, we have a great staff and directors. I mean, there's no doubt about it. Everybody has said it, and I know it. Well, no, I'm just kidding. They are great, and thank you all for coming.
Thank you, Councilmember Pollock. Next, we have also from Ward 2, Councilmember Antadeo.
I am officially, my evening is great. I didn't trip going up the stairs, so that's my worst fear. I never would have imagined I'd be able to stand up here and talk in front of so many people, so many important part of our community, but yes, I'm the other part of Ward 2. Well, everybody took most of everything that I wanted to talk about. I believe very highly in, one thing I wanted to point out is we got our pipes in our streets doing better in Ward 2, and so we're not flooding. That was very evident today when it rained a lot, and it wasn't as bad as it usually is. So that is a great accomplishment that I think is great for all of our community, really. Takes away the fun puddles to play in, but I'm more than honored to serve with this council and to serve with this city, and it's always a pleasure. Well, it's almost always a pleasure to take care of our city. But one of my agendas, I guess, if you would say, is I want to get much more community involvement in our community. I was one of those people. I'm a local business owner. I wanted to get more involved in my community, and that's what I did. I wanted to represent my ward and the city as somebody who takes care of and looks out for the people the way I would want to be looked out for. And I think we need much more of that in whatever capacity. And thank you to all of those that serve our community, and get the word out. Let's get some more people on some of these boards and commissions. But I look forward to all of the things that everybody has talked about and all of the things that we're going to accomplish with this council and the city. And yeah, the events team, I'm so excited. We have so many awesome things to do in our city. We want people to stay here, play here, live here, work here. Isn't that the goal? That's why I moved to Brighton. Small town community that cares about each other, and that's what my goal is every single day that I serve. But thank you for being here, and thank you for having me.
Thank you, Councilmember Tadeo. Next, we'll hear from Councilmember Blackhurst from Ward 3.
Thank you, Mayor. I appreciate it. It's good to stand up here and look out over the audience and see so many familiar faces. I appreciate very much you being here. I think you've heard a lot about what's happening in Brighton from our mayor, from our city manager, and from my colleagues on council. So I'm going to limit mine very specifically. You know, they talked about our strategic planning session that we just went to, and they asked each of the council members to mention the things that they thought we should be focusing on going into 2020. And I only had 2 things. I know you're going to find this a big shock to all you, but my number 1 thing and my number 1 goal for this year is looking to continue to support and fund our law enforcement here in the city. I think sometimes our police department is plagued by their own success. I think most of you, like me, feel that this is a very safe community, that they do such a great job that we don't have the crime that we see in Denver, in Commerce City, in Thornton, and some of our other neighbors. Unfortunately, that is not the case. We do have way too much crime going on in our city, and our police department, although the city has been really good about trying to continue to fund them in terms of their staffing levels, they still need additional resources. Another area that we kind of overlook because, again, they're doing such a great job is that great building up there that is the police department that was there when I was honored to be the chief of police. You know, when we first moved into that building, we used to say, because we moved from South Main Street, that little tiny facility, a couple of our, Rich Kelly, who was an instrumental figure in the police department at that time, says, when we first moved in, it felt like a BB in a bowling alley. It was that big. Well, it isn't the case today. They're busting at the seams. And we have to figure a way, with all of our other needs, to try to expand their work area. So I've asked staff to look at the possibility, and I don't want to let the cat out of the bag here, but I will because we get this opportunity. Maybe the city could use something like a law enforcement public safety sales tax that could help support the police department. So that may be coming forward sometime in the future. The other goal that I've got is something I think all of us face on an almost daily basis, and that's that we need to have a plan to improve and widen our major streets in Brighton. South 4th, the mayor has mentioned Bridge, that we need to have a 4-lane all the way through. I mean, it's incredible when you think about it, that our oldest major arterial through the city, Bridge Street, isn't 4-lane from end to end, is it? I mean, it's crazy. So we're going to get that done, but we have to plan for South 4th, for 120th, for 136th, for 144th. You all travel those roads, and we need to have a plan and work with our partners in Adams County government, in Commerce City, and some of our other neighbors. Those are my 2 goals as we go forward. I think most of you thought you'd gotten rid of me come January 1st, but somehow I'm still around for another couple of years. But thank you for our support. I'm excited about the future of Brighton. I'm excited about our staff, the great people we have in place, our city manager, and all the way down to our folks in the back of the room that hide back there. I told Natalie I'd ask her to come up, but I won't do that. But we have some fantastic staff here in this city that gets things done. So thanks to our staff, thanks to all of you. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilmember Blackhurst. Councilmember Bosky, would you like to say a few words?
I just want to thank everyone for coming. I don't have a picture placement and it's spelling, so I'm not going to be able to I'm delighted to be back on council, and what I love is, as staff, as many mentioned to me, you're much more calm than you were, and that was one of my goals, so I'm already almost there.
All right, thank you. And then next from Ward 4, Councilmember Peter Badia. Come on up.
Somebody asked me on my way up to make sure to thank the city manager. I don't know for what, but some years ago, my friend Dick Hodge told me never to be the last person to speak before people get to go to their food, but they made the mistake of feeding you first. So you keep me for just a moment here. years ago, I remember when Federico Pena was running for mayor in the city of Denver, he challenged people to imagine a great city. At the time, that was the airport, that was any number of things to fix Denver. We have something interesting and different in front of us because we have a great city. We just don't necessarily have people who know that we have a great city. So that, to me, is the challenge not of last decade, not of next week, but I'm very, very excited to be sitting here looking not just at 2022, but I'm excited to think about what the state of the city in 2032 is. So I've been talking to a lot of people. What do we want? What do we want to feel? How should this city be perceived? And how should we feel as the people who live here? So there are a couple of things that came out of the strategic planning session. There are a couple of things that have come out of talking to leaders on the staff, talking to leaders in the community, talking to my half dozen or so, maybe 60, 80 relatives in the city who all have very strong opinions about where we should be going. But to me, it begins with the look and the feel and how you feel when you're entering the city. We want to make sure that people know that they are arriving in Brighton. So I'm looking forward to developing how people feel when they get here and actually giving them a reason to come. We have some tremendous events, tremendous things that take place in the city. And I'm looking forward to seeing more and more people come in to go to those concerts, to go to the fairs, to go to the park. I think that this is a great place to be. And then we need to be cognizant as we develop that of making sure that this is a place that people not only want to be, but can be. So we have to think as we grow about affordable housing. We need to think about workforce housing. We need to think about engaging businesses and economic development that brings primary jobs to the city so that you can choose to be in Brighton, you can afford to live in Brighton, but you can do so while you have a job that's in the tech center or in Interlaken or near the airport, downtown even. So we need to have a reason to live here, a reason to be here, and we do. We have some incredible things. Our parks are among the best that I've seen. The access to parks is incredible. There's something near you no matter where you live in the city. There's something accessible to you. As we talk about Brighton as the place that we want to be, we need to make sure that people can get here, get to and from Brighton, get around within Brighton. So development things like expanding Bridge Street, that's important today. We do need to do that. We're picking up on something. But we need to make sure that people can get from here to the tech center, to Interlaken, to the airport, to downtown, and that people can get around the city without having to get alone in a car and drive across the city. So bike paths, walking paths, micromodal transportation, all of those things are the vision towards the future. We're growing. We have a great safe place to be. We have a good, solid, stable place to be. But we need to be thinking about the future, thinking about our technology for the future, thinking about our incredible staff and development, drawing and bringing incredible people to want to work for the city, to make it work for all of us. We have amazing, amazing staff, incredible professionals, and they have all of the steps to get us towards that vision if we enable them to get there. So that's part of my focus. I'm going to close because I really won't go on forever and ever, although my dad says I like to talk. I want us, as the state of our city in 2022, to be positive and to be forward-thinking and envisioning what the city is going to be, not necessarily for our own benefit, but for all of the people who are going to come here after us. We're firmly grounded in an agricultural past. We're firmly grounded in a really interesting and exciting diversity and combination of people in this culture. We need to think about how to preserve that, but not stay so grounded in it that we can't see the future. So I'm tremendously excited about what we're going to watch for and what we're going to build for and what we're going to be when we talk to you in 2032 about what a great city this is and what it should be like in 2042. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilmember Padilla, and thank you all, every one of you that was able to speak and that serve on our council. I appreciate that. So as you see, Brighton has come far since it was founded back in 1887. There's still so much more work to do, so many exciting things to look forward to, and I can't wait to make that happen. Together as a community, here we're going to be building a stronger and a better future for Brighton. Thank you.
We are Brighton.
I love our city.
We are proud.
Brighton is my home, and it has been for the last 40 years.
41,000 residents, strong and growing. We are home to families of many generations.
I always used to brag that I love the fact that I could say that my kids all lived here with me in Brighton.
Also, families that are growing roots.
I chose Brighton for its open spaces and family values.
We are resilient. We are kind.
You can always count on Brightonians to be kind and considerate.
When times get tough,
We in Brighton persevere when the going gets rough. We support each other and we're there for each other.
what makes us different? We believe in community.
We are truly a city of engaged residents that care for each other.
We are proud of our history
Our farming legacy and the amazing leaders who have put this city on the map.
and have so much potential for our future.
Regardless of what you want to do with you and your family's future, Brighton is the place to be.
What connects us all? Brighton is the place we call home. We are Brighton.
Thank you everyone for coming out tonight. Please drive home safely, and thank you.